In this Jenkins Law Library video tip of the week, we're going to talk about Yahoo Access, which was released last week. What is Yahoo Access? It's a web browser app for your iOS device, your iPad or your iPhone, and it's also a browser extension for the desktop for Firefox, Chrome, and other browsers, and it allows you to sync your research across devices. Let's say you're in your office, you're working away in Yahoo Access, and you need to go on the road or you're going home. You can pick up that research on your iPad or your iPhone without having to re-enter anything. It also allows you to flip through your results visually. You see visual representations, thumbnails, of the web pages that you retrieved as opposed to 10 blue links, and that's what intrigued me because, let me give you some backstory here, I remembered the search engine called Searchme. I loved it because it allowed me to flip through my results the same way you flip through covers, album covers on your iPod. And I really liked this search tool. I mourned it when it went away, and so when Yahoo Access was released and they feature this this option, I was like, hot diggity, this is a replacement for Searchme. And so I installed the browser extension for Firefox, and I've done a search here for Ron Darling. Let me show you the results. You can see that I can flip through web pages about the former New York Mets pitcher. Okay, I can go back and forth. So this does pretty much replicate what Searchme did for me. And so I thought, well, this is a browser extension that I may want to keep enabled in my browser. A lot of them I disable after I use them a bit, but this is one I thought that I would keep. But the more that I worked with the extension, the more I had some issues with it. Number one is, even though it is fairly small and stuck in the lower left-hand corner of the page, I tended to sort of swipe across it as I went to my Windows taskbar. And what happens is, if you do that by accident, it expands, anticipating that you want to do something. And after you do that a few hundred times, it kind of gets on your nerves because it keeps popping out and in and out and in and out. Another thing that I didn't like about it, and this is the same thing that I don't like about the search boxes in browsers as well, and this is why I disable them as well, is if you do a search from this box, and even though you have it minimized, it's pretty obvious what you just searched for, and when people come into your office and they see stuff on your desktop, it can become a topic of conversation. So I don't like seeing that here, and it's going to stare at me until I do my next search. And so the more I worked with the browser extension, the more I started to ask myself, what is this giving me that I don't already get with, for example, Google? And Google's knowledge graph gives me a lot of good information to begin with, and if I mouse down the right-hand gutter, I start to see the thumbnails of the web pages I've retrieved as part of the enhanced snippet. And though it's not as slick as Searchme or as Yahoo Access is, I'm still getting the same information. I didn't have to install any software, and it's not as persistent. So truth be told, I think I'm going to stick with Google for these kinds of searches, and I will disable this browser extension. But if you are intrigued and want to use this to sync your research across devices and also to visually flip through web results, the URL is axis.yahoo.com.